Hello everyone, my name is Vishal Singh and I'll be teaching you chess today. So in the previous class, we had learned how to utilize the knight efficiently, the movement of knight and how to actually use it in an actual game. So we had started with creating an attack with the knight. So let's continue that in this class. Okay, I'll be sharing my screen. All right. So we had already solved this, I'm sure, and the answer was to attack the queen. How? By moving our knight to b5. Very simple. Okay. Why to attack the queen? Because the rest of the pieces were quite protected. Okay. And it was easier. It was also easier to attack the queen in one move. Whereas if I wanted to attack, bishop or something, first of all, bishop and nine would have been of equal points, so that would be an equal exchange. Plus, it would take me a lot of moves to get around and to attack the knight somewhere. Okay, so this was an easier target for me. Okay, heading on to the next one. All right. So here again, look carefully. The king is protecting this pawn at f7. This pawn is protecting the pawn at e6. Uh, the rook itself, it doesn't need quite a lot of protection. Honestly, it's quite away from the knight, but it is protecting this pawn at h7. On the right side, this pawn is the only thing that is not protected. On the left hand side, this rook is actually not protected by anything. Why? Because this is actually closer to the knight. It can come in the attack range if the knight moves here at c7, and the rook will actually be trapped. Okay, so the correct answer would be actually knight to c7. Why? Because it is a safe place for a knight to jump. It cannot directly be attacked by a knight, by the king or any by the enemy king or anything. Plus, even if the rook tries to escape, it cannot escape. It has only one move. It has for in order for the enemy rook to escape, it either has to get the knight out of the way or move the pawn away. And in this given situation, even if the enemy moves the knight away, thinking now that the rook is supported by another rook, which is fair and right. But remember, the rook is worth 5 points and the knight is worth 3 points. So the enemy will lose 5 complete points while you will lose 3 points. So you will still be in advantage by 2 points. So is this a worthy exchange? Do you think the exchange should happen over here? The answer is yes. If you're capturing a piece that is worth a lot more than your piece, always do the exchange. Okay, so the correct answer uh, would be knight to c7. Got it? Okay, let's move on to the next one. Okay, so now again look carefully. This knight is protected by the pawn at g7. These pawns are protected by the knight themselves. This pawn, which is actually in the attack range, is actually protected by the pawn at d6, and so are these. See, you can see this chain. So they are actually protected quite nicely, and the defense is strong. The only piece that is not protected here would be this bishop at e6. Now, in if we were using any other piece, that it would still be a problem. The only reason why we are able to attack this using a knight is because knight can jump over pieces. Otherwise, if you look at the enemy defense, it is actually quite strong. We could not have actually penetrated it using some other piece without any loss on our side as well. So because this is a knight, it is quite easier for us to attack. Why? Because it can jump over any of the pieces. Got it? So the correct answer is knight to g5. Okay, moving on to the next. All right, the correct. Okay, so now look carefully again. This pawn is protected. This pawn is protected by the pawn at h6. The bishop is way too far away to in order for us to reach over there. It will take us, 2 moves. But this pawn here at h6 itself is not protected. However, it is providing protection to the pawn at g5, but it is not protected itself. So the correct answer would be to attack this pawn. How will we attack? By moving our knight to f5. Got it? Really simple. Now, even if the king tries to protect the pawn, we can still move away and then attack the enemy bishop. Okay. Moving on to the next one. Yeah. Okay, now again, this is actually quite tricky, but a nice possible move if you can see. Please pause the video, come back. I mean, pause the video, think a lot about this and come back. Now, again, these are all protected by the king and the queen is protected as well. This is a solid formation. It is quite well protected. These pawns are protected as well. Okay. Now, how would you attack the piece? What would you attack? How would you attack? Give it a thought. Do you think this is like if you move your knight to g5 or h4, would that do any good? No, right? You cannot move your knight to e5 also because it will be killed by the pawn, or you cannot move your knight to d4 either. It will be killed by the pawn again. So basically, we cannot use this knight at f3. We'll have to use other knight. Okay. So now moving it here at b5 will do no good. Moving it here at a4 will do no good. But what if we move it here at d5? Now, what are the pieces in the attack range? We have three. Suppose the enemy plays this. We have three pieces in the attack range. We can attack this queen, which will be the most powerful piece of our enemy. We can take that out. We have this pawn in the attack range, and we also have the bishop in the attack range. But your enemy has only one chance to play, one move to play. So it can either protect any one of them. Now, for the obvious reasons, it will obviously be protecting the queen, but you still have these two to capture, right? The point was to attack, create an attack using a knight, which you already accomplished. Now, this type of move is actually called a fork. F-O-R-K. I'll write it down if you want. Give me a second. Yeah. Fork meaning you're simultaneously attacking two pieces at the same time, but it using only one of your piece. It's very simple. So you're attacking the knight, attacking the bishop and the queen. Also the pawn actually, but these two are major pieces. Got it? So the correct answer was knight to d5. Moving on to the next one. Okay. So now again, these are protected. The whole chain is protected. The bishop is protected as well by the king. And the pawn at h7 is not protected, but it's way too far for our knight to reach. Got it? So what is in the attack range? What can our knight attack in one move? Okay, so what if we play a knight to c3? I want you guys to pause the video before I give away the answer. Okay, as soon as I show the puzzle, pause the video. Look at the situation given to you. You're playing as white over here. What is the possible move you can do? How can you create an attack using your knight? Got it? Okay. So the correct answer would be knight to c3. And what we are attacking? We are attacking the enemy rook over. Got it? Again, this was very simple. Moving on to the next one. Okay. Again, look for pieces. You have to create an attack using your knight. So these are all very well protected. No need to, we cannot even reach them at this point. They're way too far as well. This is a good chain. Okay, so these are protected as well. This pawn is also protected by the rook, and these rooks are protecting themselves also. Queen here actually doesn't need a lot of protection because it's way too far, plus it has a wide range. So if you by any chance get into the range of the enemy queen, you're out. The piece is gone. So there is a piece, extra opponent piece, if you're looking carefully, which is here at h3, the enemy bishop. It is in our territory. So in order to take that out, what we can play is bishop knight to f4. Now, since the knight can jump over the pieces, the enemy bishop is in the attack range of a knight. Got it? So that was all for today's class. Uh, just a minute. Okay. So that was all for today's class. We'll be continuing this in the next class. Hope you guys enjoyed. You learned something today, and that's all for today. Have a nice day. Thank you.